Hey y'all, I always take you with me to let the chickens out in the morning. I thought, you know what? I don't think I've ever taken them with me to actually close the chickens up. So that's what we're doing. Let me turn you around. All right. It's chilly out here. This time of day it's dicey. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're not. But I wanted to share with you guys the fact that I cut the boards off of a complete log. Took me 2 days. I didn't work but maybe an hour and a half each day. And it's fairly grueling. I was surprised. Hugh, when he first started working the sawmill, he would cut 3 a day, or 3 logs a day. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, wow, I'm going to have to improve quite a bit before I can do that. And of course the geese have to be noisy, and they're not up. As you can see, I'll have to come back out in a minute. But let's walk over to the sawmill real quick and get away from the noisy ones. I don't know if he's already taken all of the lumber over. It was on the forks of the tractor, and he had to take it in 2 runs because that log was actually big enough that it was too heavy. One was too heavy. There's Tux. A booger butt. But it's not as chilly out here this evening as it has been. This week's been crazy. It's just horribly cold and just slightly warm. Hey, he's already moved my log and everything. What was left of the log. There wasn't much, but I feel like this was just a really big accomplishment for me. And Hugh has got to have some rest for his knees. He's got to have some pain relief for his knees. And I tell y'all, I'm a bit concerned that pain relief may be as serious as knee replacement. I hate to think along those lines, but we haven't seen the doctor yet. It'll be January. But it's pretty significant. So there's the residue. And over here, I think, is what's left over of my little log. I think it's that dude right there. Yeah. And all of the sawdust. I've got to find a good location to kind of spread the sawdust out on a big piece of black plastic, I guess, during the day. And spread it really thin so it will have a chance to dry, and then put it in my barrels. Because I go through a lot of this. And the last time I used it, because we didn't have any dry, I had to get a couple of bags from Tractor Supply. And that, you know, that hurts my heart. I'm too cheap. I'm too cheap to buy something that we actually already have in abundance. But their little coop definitely needed some dry sawdust in it. That makes them happy. It makes me happy to know they're warm. But yeah, this winter, if anything, if the weather that we've had the last few days is indicative of what we have to expect this year, it's going to be a roller coaster. Just crazy. And tomorrow I will show you that we are actually getting some germination with our winter wheat. Tux, what's up with you, bud? He's king of the log. Yeah. They're not usually by themselves. They kind of travel in a pack. All of our little kitty critters. But he's got to change the tire on this guy this week. And then we've got to take this load of steel off. And then we're going to start getting logs. Because these 3 logs, they already have lots of plans. There's lots and lots in store for those logs. And Aaron's going to be coming down one day in the next week or so and going over to get logs and cutting those for siding for the little building that he's closing in as his workspace. And I am very glad that he's going to be able to have an actual location for wood turning. Yay. Now that he has his own lathe and everything is just good. Everything is good. And it's getting chilly out here. It's getting a little breezy. But when we have there's so many irons in the fire right now with the downstairs, and that's what some of those logs are going to be for, is the grow room. But getting that one up and running, and then getting the little weekend farm stand over there, and getting, I think I have enough cut almost for the peacock house or for the peahen house. Eventually I want to get back to my porch. I want to get those bins painted and my cushions covered and the top of the cat house cushion covered, and the porch itself, we got to build a ramp from the middle of that. Well, here come kitties. They're all over the place. This guy, you may not have met him before. This is Mufasa. I think you have. Where are you going? Had one just run under the porch. But our kitties are rather rotund. To be outside kitties, they're pretty portly. They're pretty portly. Of course, I can understand that. I'm pretty portly myself, and I work. I don't know if these guys work or not. Do you guys work? Do you ever work? Let me ask you that question. So, they must all have thyroid disease as well. Oh well. But lots of wood is needed for all these projects. And I actually even have to find a space to put my hardening off tables. And Chelsea and I've told you before that we're going to be building raised beds all the way down the inside of both of those big fence lines in our flower garden area. Kitties everywhere. It's time for them to come over and have some dinner and then hang out in their warm, see, there's all 5 of them. Hang out in their warm little kitty house. They're sweet babies. I wish they were a little bit more tame than they are, but that's okay. They enjoy each other. But anyway, I guess I'm just a little repetitive right now, because it's just repetitive things happening, cutting wood for projects. So stick with me if you're interested in following along with all these things that we have going. Hopefully by springtime it'll be a brand new ball game and all of these building projects will be behind us. That's my goal. My goal would be to have all the building projects behind us. I think that's an impossibility because something else will come along. But if I can have the building projects behind me, then we can concentrate on gardening. My voice might have been kind of muffled sounding. I forget that when I have the size increased on the lens, that it makes it hard to hear. There's Ariba. She's a pretty thing. All right, y'all. I'm heading inside. It's getting a little chilly out here. We just came over from Canton, visited a old friend of ours that we hadn't seen in a long, long time, in many years, and that was a good time. But she had moved away from here and was just back for a short visit. All right. Love y'all much. Bye-bye.